guys, what is going on? Red Master here, and welcome back to another episode of Cards and Castles 3K Decks, where we are approaching the end of the April 2018 season. And if some of you joined me for my Ranked with Red at the beginning of the season, you would know that I got a certain Flux School deck up to 3K. So what better time to showcase it than right now at the end of the season, I guess. So without going too much into it, I'll just jump right into the deck list so you guys can see what we're working with. So here's a deck list for what I like to call Flux School, and if you really take a look at it, it might not be all too different from what you guys might see on the ladder for a normal greed deck. The only reason why I call this a Flux School is because I run the max sort of Flux in the deck, and I think the request I got even to make this deck was Flux plus School of Knowledge, so the Flux School thing is kind of just there for a name, but it kind of runs like what a standard green deck does, and I really haven't gone over one on this channel, especially not in the 3K, so I gave it a try, and lo and behold, I was able to max it out on the ladder. It took me like a season or two. I think it pretty much went undefeated in its replacements for the April season, so I would say it does pretty well. Of course, you're not going to get every match as a victory, because, last time I checked, I wasn't a perfect human being, and I'm pretty sure not a lot of us are. Um, but let me just explain parts of the deck for those of you who might be unaware of what a greed deck does, or why I've included some of the choices that I have. So obviously, the big focus of this deck is going to be your School of Knowledges for some intense cycle power. You got a lot of different ways that gold is coming in to trigger this School of Knowledge. You've got Merchant's Estate. Merchant's Estate is your permanent possible source of income. Only two, though. Three could clog up the hand, and you don't really want all three of your buildings out there to just be Merchant's Estate. It takes up space, and if it's only giving you +1 gold without the cards to back that up with, it doesn't really justify running a max of 3, so we're leaving that at 2 for now. But you've also got things like Mugging, very reliable damage in Pirates. Captain, obviously, his ramp is great. And then, of course, Dread Pirate Robins. And then there's also the possibility that Flux does produce cards like Merchant's Estate or even another Mugging, which is thereby even more gold into your hand or into your bank or whatever you carry your gold in. But despite the gold, there's also a couple of solid units in here, which is sort of what the deck goes along with. Some big, bulky units that come out early, and especially buffed units. Armory probably being the prime contender for this. Building, this is more of a building deck, I would say. I'm going to state that right now. It's more of a building deck because the deck relies off of buildings, or it sort of falls apart as a unrefined standard unit deck. So I would say this is definitely a building deck. And Armory is going to be the last of the three that really puts the deck together. When you already have cards like Witch Doctor, Barbarian, Pegacorn, Tyrannosaur, etc., if that's just being buffed by the powers of Armory and Blacksmith, so that's a possible +2 to all, and then an additional +2/+2 on top of these already statted units, like Pegacorn becomes, let me just see here if I can do like a 9, I'm trying to think, a 9, no, yeah, 9 attack, I can't do math right now, 9/7 for Pegacorn, Kraxus, again, here we go with the math, like a 7/9, yeah, it's the same, 9/7, same thing as Pegacorn, and I just can't believe I did, well, plus the armor, so that's different, but anyway, you guys kind of get the idea here. Big units combining with the whole gold and cycle power of School of Knowledge is what this deck is based around. With some other cheeky stuff thrown in there, we've got the scope, for example, some books for some additional draw if maybe your Southport's not working. Night of Flower is always fun to use. And of course, Flux for those spells, as I kept mentioning, because those might be useful. Not all of them are going to be like A+ spells that you can use, but some of them out there are going to be useful. So that being said, again, that's sort of the basics of the deck. Not really a whole lot different from other greed decks you guys see out there. So, of course, with that being said, let's hop into the matches today. We got 2 for you, and let's see how the deck does play out. So moving into our match here, we got a shaky hand at best. I'm going to drop the Arbiter's Return and one of the Fluxes, keeping the second one in case maybe we get a hand like this where we don't exactly have a backup unit to throw out. But we did get this Lumberjack from the draw, so we're just going to throw him out there, say hello to his castle. I can pretty much assume that he's going to maybe, well, okay, throw a Lumberjack of his own. Fair enough. We all love Lumberjack, don't we? We'll draw a Pegacorn. We don't exactly need that now, so let's just draw from the Lumberjack. Can we get anything else? We cannot, unfortunately. So that gives him the feel advantage here. Does he have a Hovel, maybe? Nope. Okay, he's rocking the Guards instead. Interesting choice. But he is, or our opponent, per se, is running a... Ooh, we'll keep our Knight of Flowers up here, I would say. Our opponent is rocking the green-white, so there's a couple of shenanigans I'm looking out for. Scope Fenrir being contender number 1 for that. He uses, he's using his Medal of Bravery now. Ooh, Voyager combo. Great. Great stuff. Oh, man. A+ plays, my dude. Alright, so we'll get, of course, a buff off of the Knight of Flowers. We'll also go ahead here and use our Flux to kill off the Salahar Voyager here. Spells will get Forbidden City, which isn't bad, plus an additional Shadow Slip. So our goal right now is to take out this Grendel. We have the capacity to do so, but it's going to be quite the expensive load. Mugging on our Knight of Flowers isn't going to help that situation per se, and of course the Lumberjack hitting face, or not, well, not face, my Lumberjack, my Flux's face. I can't speak proper English today. So we're off to a bit of a rough start. Plus a Blessing of the Trents on Grendel means that we're going to be down quite a lot. Any sort of additional buff to this guy, and I think the game is pretty much over. We needed some sort of damage spell to really give ourselves the advantage here. All we can do is just move out and hope that he doesn't have some sort of buff on that Grendel. If he does, game's going to be over 1, 2, 3, and that won't be a good goddamn showcase. Witch Doctor, plus a Rat Hovel. Alright, he's going to take us out there, which is perfectly fine. We'll also do 3 damage. Well, his will do, excuse me. His Witch Doctor will do 3 additional damage. So, let's throw out a Blacksmith Part 2. Plus a Merchant's Estate down here. And we use one of these blacksmiths to kill off the Grendel. Just getting it out of our way for now, but we're in a pretty bad spot. Any sort of scoped unit in the right place, and we might be done. We need to pull an Arbiter's Return, but we do have the draw cards, thankfully. Using that, though, did reduce his hand a lot. Ooh, okay. Interesting choice. So we have some options here. Let's go with an Armory in the back here. Hassan City Guard. Following up there and there. Blacksmith takes out this little rat dude. And we will do a Forbidden City play. I want to get as much draw as possible. T-Rex. Looking for this. Okay, we can get rid of one of those ninja cards we didn't need, which is good. He was probably looking for a scoped Grendel. Potentially. There's the Fenrir on the field. Of course, Grendel's going to take out our blacksmith. Fair enough. He was a big boy. We could do this. Grendel goes down. He gets buffed. We'll move him up. We'll also move Tyrannosaur back. Plus a Southport up here. His Rampage won't be able to hit us from the range he's at. Sure, if he's got scope, then it's going to be a problem. But he's got multiple threats to deal with. Okay, Onslaught, fair enough. That won't take out my Hassan City Guard unless you're going to rat it. There's what I was worried about. Scope, Fenrir, pain in my ass. He can take out... Yeah, he can pretty much take out what I expect him to. Although he left that Southport alive, which might be his undoing. We'll see what we can draw here. Perfect, another Armory. Just what we needed to reinforce our Southport enough to kill this major threat right here. And we'll do that. We will also Barbarian up here, plus Dwarven Archives, still hoping for that Arbiter's Return draw. We just saw it at the beginning of the game. Let's hope that's not the last time we will ever see it. And again, his colors don't support face damage, so that's going to be what our advantage is over him. He'll throw out Villaroth plus Hassan City Guards plus the Rat. He wants to rush. We have options, though, to prevent that. T-Rex is going to be probably our biggest help with that. Plus, we'll, of course, do this. We'll sacrifice the Barbarian, kill this Villaroth, don't have to deal with it anymore. Plus move the Pegacorn all the way up, sending all of his guys back as well. And that's a beautiful, beautiful way to save yourself, hopefully. But now we're down a bunch of cards. We're both working off like that whole one draw thing. He's throwing out the Respect. Oh, the Rat. Oh, Companion. Oof. And the Companion will clear him for the victory. Alright. Not bad from Banana. Definitely got the early advantage on us. But let's see if we can try in our second matchup here and see if the deck can get redemption. And moving into game number 2, again, not the best opening hand for us. We do have the School of Knowledge, but we don't have any sort of... we don't have anything to support it, so I'm actually going to cycle it out. We'll keep the Dwarven Scope. Of course, we get another Lumberjack here to open up, and we have a nice curve. Lumberjack, Merchant Estate, Dwarven Scope, and Flux. Although I really don't think we're going to be needing a Dwarven Scope on a Lumberjack anytime soon. We'll throw out both of our Lumberjacks at each other. He's also switched up the decks, which is pretty interesting. He's using the Ninja Druid instead of the Ninja Pirate, which is interesting. I mean, no monster support, so he'll throw out the Injured Trent though, which isn't a bad option to go with. And in response, I think we might need to throw out our Hassan City Guard and see what he has for it. I'm assuming with this one you're going to be focusing pretty heavily on companions, bouncing them possibly, so we'll see if he's got a Spiny for us. He'll throw out the Living Vines. Interesting. Props to him for using the Vines. We don't really see that card a lot, so again, props to him for that. What we will do though, I think, as a move, is coin out our Barbarian, just because I don't want to lose the guard. We want to keep some additional presence on him. And of course, this Vine isn't going to be useful unless buffed. I mean, he might as well do a Throne Shadow Dance right now, but that would leave him with no board presence and me to leave. Oh, okay, hello. Interesting choice there. How do I approach this one? I mean, I could theoretically do this. It's not gonna race. That's gonna. Yeah, that'll save us. And then a little bit of that. Beautiful. Now we've got board control again. Getting rid of that mana core is, of course, very important. Their Spirit Links can be a bit tricky, but that's all right. A Hassan City Guard play, of course, fine by me. Plus a suit of armor, so I'm assuming that big boy is gonna try and get some movement at some point later down the road. What can we do for our turn, though? Let's do a double merchant play. Because at this point we have nothing else to do. Again, our hand is sort of... I could have thrown out the Flux, but then again, Flux may not be able to help me later down the road. Bestial Rage on the... Ooh, Hassan City Guard. So there goes our... interesting. There's my Arbiter's Return. Would have loved to see that last game. But unfortunately, no go there. We'll T-Rex this Fenrir back. I don't want to deal with it. And he doesn't have the scope to make it as deadly as it was in the previous game. So we're just going to kind of push him back, send him away. He'll play out another Hassan City Guard. Fair enough. Chomp it away here, chomp it away there. Forest Revolt summons a Trent. Is that going to... Okay, so that will actually kill off the T-Rex. But little does he know, I have a second one in hand, which we are going to kind of follow up with. Because again, we're not really working off of... actually, wait, hold on. Yeah. We're kind of just working a little bit off the draw. I want to get Kraxus out here, but that Fenrir is just scaring the hell out of me. And, I mean, 12-5 is a pain in the ass to deal with, so... You know. Let's see. Thinking about what we can do here. I mean, he's not going to give his suit of armor a burst all of a sudden. I mean, lunging attack, but then again, why waste it there? He'll use the Minotaur, actually. And then, of course, just get it pushed away like that. That's not too bad for us. We can do a mugging on this guy. Of course, chomp face there. We'll do a quick shot here, following up with a Kraxus play right along there. So Southport's going to get pushed back, so is Fenrir. But I think we're going to be okay. Because that Minotaur seemed not the best. Especially when getting... I mean, I guess it's the biggest threat to T-Rex. But now he's completely sort of... He's in a little bit of a trouble situation here. Demon Hunter. Alright, not bad. That's going to give me some draw, as much as I don't necessarily want to sacrifice a lot of Kraxus' health. It's probably the best move for that right now. So we're going to, of course, hit Kraxus for the Demon Hunter, which is fine. We get an armory for our troubles as well, so I think we can do that right along there. We'll also get the School of Knowledge for yet additional draw. Follow up with a Hassan City Guard up here. And I would say hit face. The reason why we hit face, I mean, he's got no healing. And sure, his Fenrir has Rampage, but that thing doesn't have health. It's got the attack for sure, but it doesn't have the health to make big moves here. The Southport's repost damage can kill it. Kraxus can kill it. The only things that can't kill it are backed up enough so that Fenrir can't reach it. So yeah, he's going to ultimately trade his Fenrir into Kraxus, knowing that he can't handle it. So that'll give us additional draw. We'll also get a Forest, or he'll throw out a Forest Revolt. Interesting. Which is fine. Of course, that's going to kill off, or get killed off, excuse me, by the Trent. And we pretty much have this game on lockdown. I don't think there's anything that he can really do here. I mean, if we push the Hassan City Guard forward one, we might be able to close the game, but we really can't at the moment. So let's get a Dread Pirate Robbins out here on the board. We'll move two Hassan City Guards up here, and then follow up with an aggressive Pegacorn. I don't think he knows that we have the Arbiter's Return, so I'm just hoping to double Arbiter to end the game with the 2 Merchant State. And even if he takes out our buildings, that's 5 gold from Robbins. And he ultimately can't, I think, defend himself here. So we're just going to... Well, we need to get rid of this guy out of our way. So we'll do just that, of course. We'll Hassan City Guard plus Robbins combo. 22 gold to end the game. We'll place an armory, and yeah, we'll end it right here. With a okay, doesn't let me double Arbiter to end it, but ultimately we will end up victorious. So overall, deck did, I think, it does pretty well. You do have those matchups there where some will take it out of you, just like that first round with Banana, which is fine. Things happen. The deck isn't invincible. It goes to show the weaknesses of the deck. It can be beat. It's not unbeatable. And of course, Greed is sort of a lower tier than what it once was before TEG release. But it's still relevant based on, things that we've seen here today. So I would say it's a great deck for sure. With that being said, guys, that's going to end off today's 3K video. Of course, going over the Flux School deck for the April season. If you guys did enjoy, please be sure to tell me in the comment section below. And while you're down there, like and share this video with your friends. And if you are new to the channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to help the channel grow. Help show your support all by clicking that subscribe button. With that being said, guys, until next time, stay gaming.